Hi friends, MD Vegan. I have a macadamia cheese recipe for you today. Very simple and basic. I love the macadamias and I soaked them overnight, I guess 1 cup or so. And you see it's a lot more in the volume. They split a little bit and soak it full of water. That's very nice for macadamia nuts because they're very hard and hard nuts and not so easy to blend. But the cheese, relating to that, will be firmer than cashew cheese, for example. Cashew cheese is more for a fresh cheese, very, very soft. It gets firm also, it can be cut and so, but the macadamia cheese is very easy to get firm. I'll show you how to do that, how I do that in a moment. I just put the macadamia cheese, the macadamia nuts soaked, rinsed and drained and rinsed into my blender. And I need a little bit of water, not too much, maybe half a cup. To begin, I can always take later a little bit more. And now the fermentation process could be powered from outside with a bacteria culture. There are several ways to do fermentation. You can do self-fermentation, the nuts by themselves, soaking, rinsing and raining, and put it into the fridge. And see, they will begin to ferment after 3 days or so. It's the easiest method, but you don't control the bacteria. Any kind of bacteria can come up. You never know. It depends on many factors that scientists don't know yet how they would develop. They're always different. So many different varieties, and some may be tasting bad. So you want to risk that? You can try. Yeah, we have some experience. Maybe it works. Sometimes I do it with success, more or less. But you can also buy the bacteria. Yeah. For example, here I have the lactobacillus here and 5 other cultures. They you will find them. Lactobacillus seems to be okay. Bifidus is here too, different kinds of. But I won't torture you with Latin names here. You can get them in little capsules in the health food shop, the easiest way. But I prefer a little bit more inexpensive. Here in the drugstore, in the pharmacy, I have this 30 grams for 30 euro or 25 euros, and it keeps for years. It's very fine. And I just need a little bit for these nuts. I just need, for this kind of amount of cheese, I don't even need half or maybe half of this container. Very small. Not even 1/3 of a teaspoon. You see, very little. If we take too much, the cheese will taste a little bitter, and we don't want that. Maybe more intense. So I just take a little bit, and they are, by the way, anyway, they are too expensive to take too much. I've taken a little bit only. We go a long way. So I have everything in: the macadamia cheese, the water, and the bacteria cultures, and I will blend it up now. And in case I need a little bit more water, I will do it while they are blending. So don't worry if I do something in between. You know, it might only be a little water. I begin with little water. That's better because I want to have little water as possible in the cheese, because then the cheese firms up easier, and I don't need to press out the water later. I come to that later in a moment. Now the blender dance. when I make a cheese this way, I like to blend a little bit longer because first the cheese, the pre-cheese, so to say, before fermentation, is fine, very gentle, like smooth. And that's nice for the cheese because the flavor can fully unfold and the bacteria can do their work nicely. And the second is they can warm up a little bit the cheese by blending, and that's also nice to the bacteria. The bacteria like a nice warm temperature, maybe a little bit above room temperature. You can put it to ferment close to the heater or electric instruments like radio or something that, or outside of the fridge where there's a warmer. You can do that. I will show you in a moment what the cheese looks like. Now I show you the other tools I have. And this is something I always use. I found it very versatile. To begin with, I have a little bowl here and a colander fitting inside. Very cheap and inexpensive. You can get it everywhere. It has to fit. You know, the water runs here from the cheese, and the cheese will be caught here. And to catch the cheese, not to let it fall through the colander, I have a linen cloth here. It's cheesecloth. That's a linen cloth. I think it's a linen cloth. It's a fine linen, you see, very simple, yeah, very fine, so the water can fall through and the cheese remains in the cloth. And I have it this side here. I have, for this size of colander, I have this side of linen cloth. It's a cotton, that's a cotton, the fine cotton. I halve it, and then half of it goes right over my colander. I push it in a little bit to make a little cavity, and then I put some water to moisten a little bit my filter. Yeah. It's nice to have it moist because then there's a more neutral flavor and the cheese does not go into the textile and remains a little more apart from it. That's always a good tip. If you want to filter something, the paper filter or something like this, you should moisten it a little, or re-moisten it a little bit in order to make it easier to work. And here the other part goes on top, yeah, to save it from the animals, the flies and something might be around. And if you have that on top, nobody can come in. I'll show you in a moment. So here is my construction. Now, I put the water away, below the water that I don't need anymore. Goes away. The cheese water will be in there, and that is very healthy also. You can drink it afterwards, yeah, a day later. So I show you, here's my construction, yeah, and here is my pre-cheese with the bacteria and macadamia in the water, and now I show you what it looks like. This is a beautiful white color of the macadamia. I love this, after soaking especially. They are so beautiful, and the flavor is a little bit stronger than from the cashews. And this is what I'm so interested in. Here you see what happens. That the nuts and the seeds we have, they have such a variety of flavors. Oh, I'm missing something here. I need a scraper. Second. Here. A scraper. I need a soft scraper to get everything out. Yeah, the plants have such a variety, especially I guess notice that when I make milk, plant milks, with the seeds and nuts, and so the variety of these flavors are yet to be explored. I mean, we have these traditional cheeses from animal products. They are really so they have a great variety. For thousands of years, they have been making cheese, especially in Europe. They're really great families with a great experience in doing that, but they all use animal products, and they have no idea what they could do once they begin to use plants. The variety is so much more, so much greater. No comparison. The animals, when they cannot beat the plants in that aspect. Yeah, they're so much better. And who wonders? I mean, animals are anyway not to eat for us. We have to eat plants. That's our natural food. I mean, when we have to, ages ago, we always ate animals. But now we understand by the science that it is not even healthy. If we have to, yeah, we can survive, but we get sick if we do it. Younger, die younger, have all kinds of diseases. So that we begin to learn. We refine our culture, has an evolution. And now we discover the plant cheeses, for example, and the variety here, macadamia cheese, different than cashews. I have made a cashew sesame seed cheese. again different, and so many other cheeses you can make. I just began to explore. Plus the ways to ferment it. The classical art of cheese making is specialized in fermentation processes. There are so many different kinds of fermentation. I just mentioned two. There are so many more. And yeah, we just begin to explore. I find it fascinating. I just begin a little step by step, making very simple cheeses. And to make it very nice, it can go wrong. If you make a cheese and you taste it afterwards, you say, oh, it's bitter, it's tart. Then something went wrong and you don't really like it. It's such a precious product, so expensive, and you want to make the best of it. So I try to take my time and begin very slow, small steps, very easy, just macadamias, nothing else. Once I take it out, now I show I do, I put the lid on top, the linen lid on top, and press it down with a little plate. I have here different plates, different sizes of plates, and I will check out which is the right one for my amount of cheese. More cheese, and the plate gets larger. Less cheese, the plate gets smaller. This is too large, too little cheese. This is a perfect amount, yeah. And then I can press it down, through the linen, so the water comes out. The professional cheesemakers, they have cheese presses, extra for cheese to press the water out, to make hard cheese, to cut it and so. I don't go that far here. I just put this on top, the little plate, and a little container. This is just an example. You could do anything that presses a little bit down and then put it to a warm place. And in 24 hours or so, maybe 48, or the macadamia takes a little bit longer, I come back and show you how I put some salt in it and put it in little ring forms to serve it and to let it ripen. After the fermentation, I put some salt in it, the very basic process, and then it can ripen in the fridge, for example. And that is the next step I do. I see you in a moment. For you, it's a second. For me, it will be 1 or 2 days. So we'll change a little bit in between, but you will have the same fun as before, I hope. And thanks for watching. See you soon. Here I am, back after the fermentation of the macadamia cheese. Here is my equipment, my little containers. Here the water goes down into the low container. You see, there's just a little bit of that what you could drink, or you can use it for the next cheese batch. And here on top, in the little lid, table, to press it down, that the water can come down. And then I tear it open, the cloth here, and you see the cheese down there, macadamia cheese with a nice texture. I show you here. Looks very nice now, fermented. And I will put some salt in there now to make it durable, and it can ripen. I have another container here. There I put the cheese in. Now it's cheese. Yeah. 24 hours I used it here. I could have taken another day, but it's okay now because you see that is a firm texture. Yeah. The fermentation has already been successful. So it goes in here, and I have a spoon to scrape the rest. Something is sticking to the cloth, or linen, cotton cloth, and linen cloth, and to use that spoon to bring it all into the bowl. I don't lose any of the precious good cheese. And this is macadamia cheese, just macadamia, as opposed to cashew cheese. This is my two basic cheeses I always make. They are different in flavor, different textures. See, the macadamia cheese is firm, you see. The cashew cheese is only firm after 2 other days of ripening in the fridge. This one is immediately firm. Yeah? It's because of the macadamias. All these nuts and seeds are different in texture and how they react. So I have a ½ teaspoon of salt. That's usually where I start. It's Himalayan salt. Put it into the cheese, and that is important because the cheese is durable. They're durable then with the salt in it. That the cheese makers do that all. They put some salt into the fermented cheese because it shouldn't turn bad. It can happen, and have to stir it and to knead it a bit, because during the fermentation the volume gets higher because there's air. Yeah, it gets higher and higher. The volume gets larger and larger, And if I knead it a little bit with a fork, just folding in the salt, then the texture will also change. Yeah. I will show you in a moment what I do then to put it in the ring mold or another kind of mold to make it, give it a shape. It's nice to have the little cheese in little shapes, and you can serve it or store it in the fridge or whatever you like to do with it. Yeah. And it smells very nice with the salt. It's a very wonderful. I love the macadamia cheese. It's a very delicious. I like macadamias. So when I taste it, I have enough salt. Maybe I put some more. Let's see. No. Half a teaspoon for 1 or 2 cups of macadamias. That's okay. It shouldn't be salty. Yeah? Just an idea, a pinch to put the salt in there and to make it work. Here, this is now. It's a little bit changed the texture. A nice cheese, and it's firmer and firmer, and it sits in the fridge. Here, my mold, my ring mold. And I'll show you what. Come back in a second. I'll show you a tool how to put it into a container that you can seal it. Wait a second. I come back. You know what I show you? What I'll show you. I have a little container here, very practical. You can just seal it. This is very good quality. It's plastic. Okay, we have it in, of course, it's better in glass, but for traveling, it's very light. And I have some baking paper here, parchment paper. Put it on down. I'll show you why. So when I do that here, as soon as you, for example, for one ring mold only, it's an angular mold. It's also it's same quality. It's a little bit smaller for smaller quantities. So I put the parchment paper into the bottom of that container and put the ring mold right on top. So now I put the cheese. So my first batch here, my first ring mold, I fill it with a spoon. I can already see how firm it is. Very nice. I don't need to let it ripen anymore to get it firm. It is already firm. I just made a cashew batch, cashew cheese, and it's so soft, so different. This cashew cheese has always to wait to sit for a while and to ripen to get the firm texture. Macadamia cheese is right away. Yeah. So I fill it to the top. Yeah, and then I press it a little bit to fill all the little corners here, little cavities. And then I show you 2 things. So if I want to take this out of the container, the cheese here, I just take the papers and can lift it up like this. I can lift it out of the container like this, and you see I don't need to touch the cheese because I have something on the bottom of the cheese. This cheese is firm, so it's not a big problem. But if you have a softer cheese and you take it out, just take out the mold, then the cheese remains in the container and you can get it out. So this with the paper is a little trick I always use, and well, that's what I wanted to show you. I take another one here for the rest. But that you can imagine on your own. I could take the lid off already and have a firm cheese. But yeah, you can see it on the photo already. If you don't have it, it's on the little thumbnail on the top of the video. And you can also see the photos on my Facebook account side and on other social media like Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. There are also the photos. And yeah, maybe you would like to subscribe to MD Vegan on YouTube to have another recipe every single day. I would be really glad to see you there, and hope to see you soon.